Tjhe ntate ga le ke tsa tsile tsamaya ha monate le tsamaya hantle ntate ba ke bophelo bo go phela a ke tsoa ke a bulela ke a naheng e be ke itisetsa diphoofolo tsa ka naheng mane bo ka lantšhe ke a gutla ke tlotla ke ja lantšhe ka moga lantšhe he e be ke a tsamaya ke ikela naheng ke tlatla ke gutla mantsibua le tsona phoofolo tseno tsa ka se ke tlotla ke di kwalla.
Because Lesotho is so remote and so mountainous, it's a very beautiful place, but it's also a really hard place to get to and to get around. And so people have to travel long distances to get to their local clinics and their hospitals, which often includes a combination of walking and taxi transportation. And so the geography is really unique to it and really shapes how people are accessing their healthcare. People call Lesotho the kingdom in the sky. And if you went there, you would understand why. When you drive in from South Africa, you immediately are in the lowlands, then you drive way up into the highlands, into the mountains.
Everything is clean. Let me just say that it's clean. You know, the water is clean. You know, you go, the air is clean. You know, that's another thing. It's healthy. Let me just say it's healthy. It's sound. It's amazing. The beauty makes me go crazy.
Oh, ke rata hobane e na le metsi a mangata, e na le mobu.
When you drive into Lesotho, it says "Kena Kakhotso," that means come in peace. And that's really an important kind of way that Basotho people think about welcoming others into their home and themselves going home. They feel very strongly about the peacefulness and loveliness of their own country. But I think it's important not to romanticize that. Lesotho is a complicated place. It's not a perfect place, but it also has really a lot of healthcare challenges, a very high HIV prevalence rate, tuberculosis co-infection. It's got maternal and child health challenges, and it has, you know, pretty limited healthcare delivery model.
I think above all, the geographical location for us living in the mountains makes us vulnerable because you don't have access to a lot of opportunities that can help you improve your own livelihoods.
Lesotho is an enclave completely surrounded by South Africa that's elevated on a plateau. So it's a very rural and mountainous country surrounded completely by South Africa.
Yeah, that's the little cattle. She knew not having no rainy. I get to one to you cannot be popular below Yahoo to me. Yahweh, I belong or I can meet a long way. A little tata one, you tell me how come on, you ho be le motho o mong e leng hore o ntshwarela pere ke a e kalama ke tsebe o tlatla fihla mona hae ke kene dikoloi.
In Lesotho, people typically seek the care of both traditional healers and biomedical doctors, and they pick it based on where they think the efficacy is going to be. So if they see an illness as being something that comes from outside Lesotho, like HIV or tuberculosis, then they understand that they need to see a biomedical doctor in order to deal with that problem. If they see something as being locally defined illness or something that came from within Lesotho, then they might see a traditional healer for that.
O ka thola wa ngata bo mohlomong bo tshwere ntho tse kang bo manku go ke ntho tse leng gore a se tse hlokang gore re ka ngatinye yanta
bjale ba re ke ba fe dipudi tsena tse di fa tsa mathueng ha ke sena yona mono ke ye le tšhelete.
Lesotho has the second highest HIV prevalence rate in the world, and that's been pretty stable since the 1990s, 2000s. It has a 23% adult HIV prevalence rate, which, if you think about that, a quarter of adults are living with HIV. And during the height of AIDS mortality, where people didn't have access to medication, people were dying at a really high rate and leaving children behind. And I was really interested in how people were caring for children within the family context. So I went to rural Lesotho, and it was a really beautiful, interesting, but really difficult time in Lesotho, where we went to funerals every weekend. We had really sick babies coming through our organization because of the HIV prevalence rate, and so that kind of was the problem that I was looking at. TTL is a Lesotho-based nonprofit. It runs a safe home or rehabilitation facility for the sickest children, but it also runs an outreach program to support the care of orphans and vulnerable children in the rural area, providing nutritional support and monitoring the health of children under 5.
Yeah, TTL is really an important part of Mokhotlong community. We load our truck, then we go.
Ke bo 80 kilometers haufinyane ha re so le lo fihlang 100 kilometers haufinyane ke tlo fumana le ha ke nkile hora tse tharo ke tsamaetse fela tsempe ka hore ke tsela tse majwe ke tsela tse majwe ke tsela tse seretse ha ho pula dinele hape ke tsela tse tellang ha ho le seretse. Hona le nako e jwalo e nke ke nka fihlela wa fihla ka koloi ke tla tlameha ho sebedisa maoto. Di sitisa haholo hobane ho na le batho bao ha ba sa eng ho hang ka baka la ho tswafa ho tsamaya hore ho empaneng o fumana hore le kala ka bolona le haeba le batla ho ya le ba kgahlametse le ntse le tla siya tse ding tsa dintho di ke ba ke ba jarella dintho kaofela mohlala ha ke ba nka ente pidisi o sa tlonka dintho tse thweng ke tsa mantlha tse hlokahala ha di nke kaofela haeba le yena re wa ba kgahlametse.
It's the roads. The roads are horrible. They travel long hours So when they travel long hours, it depends with the weather. When the weather is not conducive, they won't be able to travel, because those people they don't walk. Some of them they ride on horses. Some of them they have to walk. Someone, if he walks for more than 7 hours, it's not possible. More especially, like I said, with the weather condition, it depends more especially on these rural areas. There will be weather conditions like snow, there will be storms, there will be rainfall, so they won't be able to cross over to go to access army facilities.
Yeah, you're Mutibun, you lame out to Mutibu, get a high mona, you fish a high. Janto, Valley, Nipulu, Mona Islands, Tupu, Valley Calame, Naki. I you draw Mutibun, your horror, Jinkabo, Horazita, which is a high. Haji fish a high mona, and Haja to open your horror. Hajinjilin to Kavang, however, give you Kalamikulu.
Ki dula ke ntse ke ya ntse ke tsaba tse ke ya hana chaka pu ke motho wa chaka
If you're regularly going to the clinic, it's because you have HIV, you have TB, you're pregnant, or you have a small child. Those are pretty much the only reasons that people would go regularly.
They come here because we have the medications as the government facility, while our neighbors don't have. So the people that travel long distances are not necessarily from our own catchment area. They come from our neighbors' catchment area, but they only come here because we have medications and our neighbors don't have.
The biggest factor driving expired medication is that countries like Lesotho rely heavily on donations of pharmaceutical meds, and so they get a big shipment that ends up in the highlands. And usually, if a healthcare system knows exactly what kind of medications they're going to need, then they will be able to more or less get the amounts that they need for a particular thing. But if you're relying on donations, then you get what you get.
Ha ba re thusi ka tse ding hore na re tlo thusa bana matsoijana a fihlang a tatile sefuba jwalo.
Bone ke kopa hore ha ba nthuisa hle ba ha di le teng ba hlamang go mmelle go go di lata. Mme go dire se ba tla tla tshabeng kana go so. Mme le go di be di tlhabetseng tse di nako.
Another issue that people in Mokhotlong face is it's not just getting to your clinic, but once you get there, what can they do for you? The types of healthcare that are offered in the rural clinic are pretty basic.
We said doctors in a facility like Mokhotlong now. The doctors, we have a few of them, I would say that way. Sometimes, yes, because of the staff shortage, you find maybe one nurse will be allocated to manage maybe just 200.
Antibiotics, you can get family planning, you can get HIV meds, medications for tuberculosis, you can get multivitamins, maybe you can get your blood drawn, but you can't get any kind of specialty care. There are no scans.
We don't have the chemo. We don't have the chemotherapy in all scopes. Even if we have a woman that we examined, then we see that he or she might be having a cancer. We can't be able to treat her.
Healthcare is a human right. Everybody deserves access to healthcare. But if we aren't making an extra effort to reach them, then they're not going to get care. And they deserve care just as much as anybody else. The most vulnerable people often live in these rural areas, and if you aren't making the effort to travel across difficult roads, to go into the mountains to provide the care, then those people are going to fall through the cracks.
Hajirato wa modisa na sempa ke wa modisa na bitwen la bo futsa. Ya da.
Honda te ka kgola ke la ka ba le bana ba bedi ba fitile e le bothata ba ka ba matsele le ka moka bana ba ke ba le ngwana.
People don't plan way ahead the way we do. And the reason for that is because life is so unpredictable. People don't know who's going to be living, who's going to be migrated for work.
Kebe ke solo loko ya le ngaki. Kebe ke ka dingwe tšhelete. ke be ke tlholo le ko gona ke e patala jwang ke tlo e patala ka moga kgwedi kwana ka ladi
batho ba ka thola ba ka latlhelwa ke maphelo a bona ntate ya pele ntate
ke ya ka koloi ha ke fihla mane ke a fola ha ba ka pele ba feletse ko bana ke kena ngakeng ha ke ta ke be ke kgutla ke tla hae.
One phrase that I heard many, many times over and over again in Lesotho is Modimo Fela, and that means only God knows. So if you ask someone, you know, what's going to happen when this grandmother can no longer care for this child, then someone will say Modimo Fela. Adichie argues that the single story of Africans, which emphasizes suffering, leaves no possibility of feelings more complex than pity. No possibility of a connection as human equals.
ha ke tla ba mosebeletsi ke kgethuwe ke setjhaba le morena mme nka umela sohle se ba mphang sona gore ke se ke ba sebeletsi
ke ila ka kgethwa ke setjhaba gore ke se sebeletsa.
As a social worker, I find it fulfilling in helping others overcome their challenges.
When you travel from there to the hospital, it was 6 hours. So we had a woman. He came along in the hospital with labor pains, and then when I made my own assessment, I found there was a cord prolapse. So with a cord prolapse, what you do is once you find it with the examination, you only have to remove your hand. You have to maintain that up until the time you go to the hospital. So I had to maintain my hand, just trying to push the cord so that the child cannot press against the cord so that the child might suffocate. But it's 6 hours drive, and then on a bed road. So if your corporation, you can be able to ring the hospital so that the kid can be delivered alive. The cooperation that we did with the woman while we were traveling, while my hand is still inside for 6 hours, it was very good that when I reached the hospital, the kid was still alive and kicking, healthy, and the kid was being delivered, held in sound. It was 2015, I met the kid. Then the mother was saying, you know what, this is your kid. I'm like, who? I said, you remember this date? And I'm like, wow, it was very amazing. So I felt so good in my heart, you know. I said, okay, after all this, I've seen my results. And the kid was held in sound.
We cross rivers, we climb mountains just to get to that child.
One child at a time, we don't care where they are, as long as that one child, whether they are in the rural, whether they are wherever we can drive for 5 hours on a whole day, walking or horseback, it's okay for us.
Advocate, being the voice of the voiceless, bringing hope to the hopeless, yeah. Being the hope of the hopeless. God being the counselor, just bringing hope in someone's lives, especially those who are vulnerable, being there for them, supporting them. Over the years, we have seen its impact. We have seen children's lives change positively.
Ntate ke rata ka gore basebeletsi re na le basebeletsi ba re thusa ha ebe re kula ba kgona go thusa ka pele ntate bo jwalo ka ba kgatshana ebe ba na le mathata mosebeletsi o kgona go mo thusa ntate ka nnete ke la ka hlala ke mathata a mane ba ke a kula ba ke a thusa speed sepetlele ya basebeletsi ba thitela ka nnete ba nthusa gore ngwana a kgone go phela ba mo fa lebetse.
When you greet someone in Lesotho, you might say dumela to them, which means hello. And then they might respond, Teng lekai, which means I am here, where are you? I've seen a lot of babies die, and I've been to a lot of funerals, and there's no silver bullet solution to these healthcare problems in Lesotho. But every effort we make, every time we move the needle a little bit, we improve somebody's life or we save somebody's life. So I think it's really important to keep making these efforts even though we know we can't solve this problem. And we need to keep moving forward because it matters, and we need to keep moving forward because people need to have hope. And the work that TTL does, the work that other organizations in the area are doing, are helping to give people hope.
To Lesotho we go.